Willkommen. My name is Sean Huggins, and this is React with Hugs.
I want to see how he reacts when he thinks no one's watching.
I can't help it if he's weird.
He's American.
He's going crazy with that work.
Everybody reacts differently.
I think he's weird, but that's me.
He's American, you know.
Let's check out today's comment of the day. So today's comment of the day comes from Rafaela S. And they say, I would say peak income is normally lower in Germany, but bottom income is higher, and also costs of living in general are lower in Germany. I would say that this is somewhat true. I would definitely agree with the first part. The peak income in America, I think, is higher than in Germany, but the bottom income in Germany is a lot higher than the bottom income in America. I do agree with that, but I think that the cost of living in general in America can be a lot lower than in Germany. It just depends where you live in America. If you live in a big city in America or a really popular area, then it's going to be just as expensive, if not more expensive than Germany. But if you live in the middle of nowhere, in the country, or in a small town like a lot of Americans, then the cost of living can be lower than in Germany. So I think it depends on where you live in America and where you live in Germany for the cost of living. But when you factor in the higher lowest income in Germany compared to the average cost of living, I think it's more affordable to live for the average person in Germany, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does, but let's hop into today's reaction. All right, so speaking of money and Germany, today we have 10 reasons why Germany is the richest country in Europe. I'm curious to see if I can learn anything else about Germany through this video, so let's hop straight into it. Los geht's!
Germany has seen a fair amount of high and low moments in its history, and always through the sands of time it remains a strong country within its people, and of course, more importantly, its economy. But why is Germany a country that is economically growing, where other countries might seem to be a little bit more stagnant?
This video is also 6 years old at the time of me reacting to it, so I don't know how it is nowadays, but yeah, let's continue.
Well, here on FTD Facts, we are looking at some of the reasons of why Germany has become so rich and powerful. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to FTD Facts, the channel where we talk about people, cultures, and places from all around the world. Now, my name is Dave Walpole, and yeah, this is a kind of channel where we look at different countries and cultures, and we break them down, and we find out what is truly amazing about them.
Whoa.
Now, for this video, we are looking at Germany. We already know Germany is an amazing place, but economically, it's just a powerhouse. It's going
Dude, I want to be a blacksmith. That would be so sick.
boom! And why is that? Well, let's take a look at it, but before I get into this video, I want to know what is your thoughts about Germany. Let me know down there, and let's start off
I like beer and bratwurst.
with number 10. Getting right into it, number 10, manufacturing and workforce. Now, Germany is a country that works
That's what I did in Germany. Interesting.
hard. As a matter of fact, the term German efficiency is what comes to mind when we think of manufacturing and workforce. True. Not only do their products last, but the term slow and steady wins the race applies to Germany. Because back in the 1980s and 90s, Germany was criticized for not jumping on the .com and internet bandwagon, unlike other countries, and kept focusing more on manufacturing equipment. But however, when it comes to Germany, it's their small and medium-sized businesses that offer demanding products that are
Yo, are those frickin' swords for the orcs? What the frick? Oh my god, the Germans were raising Sauron's army this whole time. Oh my god.
key to the economy. Now, these small companies manufacture equipment that is built through highly specialized means, making the machines that they build important for construction purposes. Number 9, adopting the euro. Now, of course, the euro is one of the strongest, if not the strongest dollar and currency on the planet. However, if the country didn't adopt the euro during its time, the Deutschmark would have become an extremely costly dollar to convert to. And by taking on the euro, which wasn't as strong as the Deutschmark, this allowed Germany to sell and export their products at a cheaper price to many countries around the world. Number 8, spending what one can. Now, Germany has a great philosophy where they do not spend beyond their means. And it's not just people, it's also their
Muss sparen.
government as well. And because
I don't know if the German government practices this in many situations, as evidence in the Reale Irrsinn show that I like to watch, but still, it is a mentality. Muss sparen.
Germany's been very good at keeping their interest rates pretty stable. It's allowed them not to borrow money on rainy days. And this might seem like a very old school way of doing things, but keep in mind Germany's been through a lot of rough times in the past, so they've learned to keep their money and hold on to it and not spend it if they really have to. Number 7, labor and unions. In 2003, the country had labor reforms that strengthened the protection of employees.
Yes, very good labor laws, which is good for the laborers, the average person, which is great.
And during this time, while the world had a worldwide recession from the year 2000 to 2003, a government program came in where many Germans were happy to work fewer hours to keep their job and continue working on their skills. Now, this same program was instituted during the 2008 economic crisis. And of course, this program...
I think this happened to some degree during COVID too, like people were working less hours. I think that my company did that, like people were working less hours for a certain period of time or working only half time or something. And yeah, I mean, it's better than not working at all, I'd say.
Is slightly funded by the government to help keep small businesses alive. And as well, on top of that, their unions have been a great contribution to the country's success. And because of all these reasons, it's kept their people working and, of course, kept all their businesses alive. And as a result, for 2017, their unemployment was only at 3.6%. Number 6, community. In the 1980s and 90s, many of the jobs were considered very local, which actually meant most jobs weren't really considered major corporations, which is actually quite beneficial for the country. And because their jobs were on a smaller scale and usually in small communities, it meant that employers had to respect their employees and had obligations to them.
Because if you screw over your employees, then your employee pool will dry up because there's only so many people in the local area. That makes sense.
And what's even crazier about this, in these small companies, employees actually can sit on the board and they can also make decisions for the company. And what this results to is that people who work these jobs generally feel
I want to make decisions.
valued. So that means when an economic crisis comes around and they really got to pinch the pennies, at least people feel valued and they feel appreciated and they're not being lied to, so they stick with the job in the first place. Number 5, Volkswagen. Let's just face
Dang, a whole company has made the entire top 10 list. Volkswagen. Dang, that's crazy.
Volkswagen is one of the most popular car companies in the world, and they always make reliable machines. As a matter of fact, in 2012, it won the best car company in sales, and in 2016, it made record sales despite the Dieselgate crisis. And it's just a powerful company that makes a lot of money that really puts it towards Germany's, economic growth. Number 4, resources. Now, Germany is a very lucky country because it's got all the resources it pretty much needs to build the things that it makes. For example, it has a lot of...
Oh, that's pretty cool. If I was playing like a real-time strategy game and I had to pick a civilization, Germany would be up there just because of that. I could be self-sufficient.
Resources like timber, natural gas, coal, uranium, iron, and ore. And
uranium?
What makes it very good is that companies within the country don't have to spend a lot of money on importing these products into their company. Or better yet, they don't have to spend money on a lot of transportation fees, so they can use these resources to build with. Number 3, these people are traditionalists. Now, what is great about Germany compared to
True. I didn't even consider that.
other countries is there is very little unlimited competition in trades. Where in Germany there is much respect for a person who still makes things by their hands. And because of all this, like I said earlier, their products are generally meant to last because they are cared for much more. Number 2, cheap entertainment. In Germany...
What? Cheap entertainment makes Germany rich? Interesting. Let's find out why.
One thing to notice is that entertainment is generally quite inexpensive. For example, the Bundesliga Sport League has the lowest ticket cost in all of Europe, and actually has the highest audiences. Keeping entertainment cheap makes people happy and lets them afford other things. And number 1, education and intelligence.
Well, this is an obvious one. If you invest in education as a society, it will definitely come back and it'll benefit you in the long run. And Germany is an obvious example of that.
Now, as I said before, when we think of Germany, we think of German efficiency. And when it comes to education, efficiency holds true, as their education is not only free for its citizens, but for international students as well. Many will ponder and ask why and how a social system like this works, but Germany understands that working together will make everyone improve. And in 2017, it was ranked 3rd in the world for education, and because of that, they were ranked 47th in the world when it came to employability. Either way, that is just some of the reasons of why Germany
Whoa, that's a cool car.
is a very rich and powerful country. There are
Whoa, that's a cool car too. Are these Volkswagens?
many other things that make Germany an amazing country, but I always like to look at it from its traditional roots, because I feel like if you've got a good mental vibe, then you can accomplish anything. But anyways, guys, my name is Dave Walpole, and thanks for tuning in and learning more about Germany.
Ooh, dang, that was pretty cool actually. Before I say what I think, I want to hear from you guys. I want to see what you guys think about this. The experts. Let me know down in the comments below, why do you think that Germany is one of the richest countries in the world and the richest country in Europe? I think that the two biggest reasons for me would be the emphasis on education. Obviously, if you do that, people are going to be more educated, more well-trained, and better workers because of it. And then following up with that, the emphasis on labor rights and labor unions and protecting the labor force. If you do both of those things, then you train the workforce when they're young, and then when they go into the workforce, you continue to train them and you take care of them. Then people are happy and well compensated and well trained, and it benefits everybody in the long run. I'm not a mathematician, but I think that makes sense to me. But again, I'd like to hear what you guys think, so let me know down in the comments below. At any rate though, that's all the time that I have for today. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing. We got new videos every single day. Thank you guys so much for being here, and as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.